Are you convinced LeBron will win his fourth ring this season?
Hell no. And if last night was any indication of this championship mindset, this is not going to be a championship year for the Lakers. Look, I know it was a scrimmage, but they don't have enough. Let me give you guys a simple, logical equation that lets me know which team is going to win the championship this year. The team with the best duo plus the best bench is the best team, and that's the Los Angeles Clippers. Think about it. You can say whatever you want about this two-man game that Anthony Davis and LeBron are going to run, but the Clippers will be able to neutralize that. And then that's when the problems start for the Lakers. Who are the Lakers going to put in to keep up with the scoring prowess that is going to come off the Clippers bench? Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, even a Reggie Jackson, who may be our eighth, ninth man. Reggie Jackson could be starting in half of the cities in the NBA right now because he's just open buckets. So LeBron James can go out there with a championship mentality, and I can see Frank Vogel right now saying, hey, plan A is we're going to run our two-man game, and nobody going to mess with it except the Clippers. But what's plan B for the Lakers? You know what plan B is? Rest one of those two guys and hope and pray that they don't get too fatigued. That's not going to be good enough. Lakers, sorry, no ring this year.
Marcellus.
No, not going to happen.
Bro, you're literally blinded by bias. You were blinded by your bias and your affinity for the Clippers. You literally can't see, bro. I need you to wake up, sir. Let me tell you why LeBron and them gonna get this thing. Because it's not as if we haven't seen LeBron defy all odds before 2016. It's not as if we haven't seen LeBron tap into a space and a mindset where he can't be denied. I'm going to take you back on a history lesson. Y'all see the picture, 2012 Eastern Conference Finals versus the Boston Celtics.
He looked tired.
LeBron is like, hey, I got to put the whole team on my back. And what did he do? 45, 15, and 5. But I have to remind you, Marcellus, the greatest motivator in this life is not money. The greatest motivator in this life is not even necessarily winning. The greatest motivator is fear. And before that game, 2012, LeBron said, I was scared that if we didn't win this, Pat Riley was going to break this thing up, and we were going to break up as fast as we got together. Well, right now, LeBron is a little bit scared because he realizes his window for winning is closing each and every year. You got a condensed season. LeBron, it's really only a few teams that's going to get that thing. He knows he's one of them. You see the hashtags? Revenge season is coming. LeBron don't make empty threats, Marcellus. LeBron don't make empty threats.
Oh, hashtags. Stop it.
You know what? Not bad. Not bad, Acho. You weren't working with a whole lot, and you did the best you could. But here's my problem. It's not that I want to make an argument against the Lakers. It's that I simply must. And I'm not wearing those blue and red glasses that Marcellus is.
Yeah.
Anytime LeBron starts selling, I start questioning.
Ooh.
When he says it's all about a championship mindset, it's not a scrimmage. It's championship mindset. I'm like, dude, you played one half. It's a scrimmage. We're just trying to get up to speed.
Exactly.
This should be championship mindset in this scrimmage yet. When he talks about the chemistry of the team and says this is a brotherhood in this franchise, you traded half the team last year, and you got two new guys that have been there about 5 minutes. And that gets to the heart of why I doubt that the Lakers and LeBron can get this done. Because if I look at every team during the shutdown, there are only two in the Western Conference that were hurt by it as a result. It's the Lakers, and it's the team that they played last night, the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks lost Jalen Brunson and Dwight Powell. They're a bad match. That's a bad matchup against the Lakers or the Clippers. And by the way, right now, they're set to face the Clippers in the first round.
Bring it.
Meanwhile, the Lakers lost Avery Bradley, a guy who just wants to play defense and knock down big shots, and Rajon Rondo, who just wants to make plays for everybody else. They added J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters, who are all about how can I get mine? How can I get my shots? That is going to be a challenge to their chemistry. And meanwhile, whether you look at the Blazers, you look at the Rockets, you look at every other team, they got guys healthy that weren't playing the last time we saw them.
Here's my thing with both of y'all gentlemen is y'all are taking the lazy approaches. Y'all are going for the low-hanging fruit, which is just so easy to grasp at. And y'all need to look at the bigger picture. Not everything in winning is tangible. Not everything in winning is necessarily roster related, but let's talk about some of the non-tangible aspects, i.e. leadership. When I look at it, I look at the Clippers, I look at the Lakers, I look at the Bucks, I look at the Raptors. Because when you talk about teams like the Sixers, I just don't trust the leadership. When you talk about teams like the Rockets, I'm just not sure that though Russell Westbrook and James Harden are bona fide superstars, that they're bona fide leaders. Right now in the bubble, in lockdown, there's going to be a lot more to it than who's the most talented, who can stay the most focused, who can stay the most locked in. When you look at a team like the Lakers being led by the king, figuratively and literally, LeBron will keep the team in check to allow the players to maximize their talent. So, Marcellus, you talking about the Avengers, which is the Clippers roster, and just all that talent. And y'all are talking about things that you can see, just the low-hanging fruit. But Slick Rick, you the analyst. Marcellus, you the Columbia grad. Can we please do a little more deep-level thinking and not just take the easiest route like water?
Well, sometimes you can overthink by trying to go too deep with your level of thinking. And he's been called a king since hello, the chosen one, right? Has he won more than he's lost in the finals? I just want to know.
Here you go.
Okay. So this whole,
Here he goes
and that's
with
why
this.
I love Slick Rick for pointing out when LeBron starts selling, y'all better not be buying, because that's when LeBron is insecure in his own surroundings. LeBron's tremendous. We get this. Duh. It's just LeBron doesn't always have confidence in what's around him. And then that's when he starts selling you and making you feel like you better get in on this. LeBron has sold us before on that 0 dark 30-23. How many times? 9 times in the finals. How many times has that worked? 3. Okay. Fully activated. Remember that last year? I'm going fully activated. It's time for us to kick in. How did that work out? They didn't even make the damn playoffs. So when I look at this usage rate of the Lakers, Clippers, Rockets, their duos are in the top 20 in usage rates. And then there are teams on the outside like the Celtics and the Bucks who are deeper. But then there's one team that has the top usage rate and the best bench. And that's where I'm coming to this logical conclusion, without overthinking it, Acho, that the Clippers have the best squad.
Real quick, Slick, real quick,
Thank
bro.
you.
You know people will start reaching. When they start using stats, they don't even know how they're the best usage rate. Like, they don't start talking about points, boards, defensive efficiency,
That's
offensive.
lazy.
He starts talking about the best usage rate.
Simple.
The people at home don't even know what a usage rate is. Slick, just say something to make some sense, please.
Acho, I give you credit for this. You are 100% right that whatever the Lakers have, the LeBron is going to get the most out of it.
I get
And
that.
so that much is true. But under these circumstances, depth and versatility is going to be paramount. And any team that is relying on 1 or 2 players to be the engine, with the number of games that they're going to play and the short runway that they have, that's simply a recipe for disaster. And it's the same reason I don't believe the Houston Rockets are going to get anything accomplished. The Lakers are in the same boat, largely because it's going to be about depth and versatility, and the Clippers are ideal. There are a number of teams, the Bucks, the Raptors, teams that don't have to rely on any one player. In a normal situation, you'd say, hey, we got the best player and we've got great chemistry. We can make this work. But under these circumstances, with the number of games that they're going to play, going right into the playoffs off of training camp, essentially, you cannot rely on 1 or 2 players. And that's where the Lakers find themselves at this point.
Yeah, Acho, you need to get used to taking these L's, because you keep calling me out for going to Columbia. You better put some respect on Slick Rick's name. That's a Dartmouth graduate right there. Let him know, Slick Rick. This is 2 Ivy Leaguers up here, baby.
Look, Texas was my safety school. I'm not going to say it.
Well, y'all too smart. Y'all overthinking
Take
the
that.
obvious answer.
Download the all-new Fox Sports app now.